And I think when we talk about internet in the present times, like today, internet has become a part of our life. Like if we have to book our cab or if we have to book, pay for our hotel, if you are using any mechanism, we use internet. And internet is such a thing that recently an American judge in a case with respect to internet has held that uh, if an alien is to visit us from Mars and if he comes and inspect human body, he would conclude that mobile was a part of human autonomy. So, so that has been the kind of the prevalent circumstance with internet and mobile. But when we talk about democracy and the three bodies, which is the state, which is parliament, legislature, and the executive, so all three have to work together. And when we look at whenever a law, like as Apar mentioned, that in 2013 for the first time, internet ban was introduced. So at during that time, there was a lot of deference to the executive actions because there have been circumstances where in India there have been communal tensions and there have been circulation of fake videos. So in order to prevent that communal tension into flaring up, the government has, uh, you know, the government has taken steps to curb the internet, and the court bit, have given deference to the executive actions because there are three laws in India currently that deal with internet suspension. The first one is the old CRPC code, where the executive magistrate in India has been given the power to issue a order where he can pass an order that internet may be banned. And then it can be banned. However, it is requirement under the law that it should be published, the order under which it is being made. Secondly, there is another law, which is the Telegraph Act, which Apar mentioned. And the Telegraph Act also provides a special mechanism wherein maximum number of days where you can ban the internet is for 5 days, and thereafter there has to be a review by a committee which is to be done by a member of the central government. And the third act is a special act, which is the Information Technology Act of 2002, whereas where there are rules which have been made under the act which provide for suspension of access to the internet. So there are the three rules which are there in place. And in fact, in 2016, when I was just freshly graduated from the law school, I had come in touch with Apar Gupta, and Apar Gupta was that time working on a writ petition before the Supreme Court that the power to curb the internet should not be exercised under this old CRPC because it is an act which gives power to a specific person, which is the state, to block the internet. However, and it should be done either under the Telegraph Act, where there's a mechanism, or the IT Act, which is a special law. So general law should not prevail over the special law. But we moved to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said that there are existence of concurrent powers. So basically, when the problem is new and problem is very problematic, then during that point of time, even judiciary pays some deference to the executive action because the threat is real. For example, even if we look at the American Constitution, the First Amendment guarantees absolute right of freedom of expression. But even there, the judiciary have decided that even when there are no express limitation in the Constitution, that does not mean that there is no limitation at all. And one famous judge, Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes, in one of his cases, has said that if a person falsely shouts in a cinema theater that there is fire, then it is going to cause panic. Therefore, such type of speech, which leads to clear and present danger, should not be allowed because it may lead to tensions. So when we talk of internet ban, the first landmark case in India was decided in 2019 by a high court in the southern part of India, Kerala, where a lady student in a hostel was prevented from using mobile phone and internet during the night. So she questioned that before, and she was asked to leave the hostel in the college, and she was suspended. So she challenged it before the High Court, and for the first time, the Indian High Court recognized that use of internet is and can be considered as a part of fundamental right because Article 19 of the Indian Constitution, just like the 33 of the Kenyan Constitution, recognizes right to freedom of speech. And freedom of speech has also been discussed to include right to receive information. So a person uses mobile phone, internet for various purposes. For example, education has become a tool and you can educate yourself from phone. So the High Court in that case said that there cannot be a ban on internet because it is not reasonable. So when I say reasonable, Indian Constitution provides for any limitation that can be imposed on freedom of speech has to be reasonable. And by reasonable, as Demis rightly mentioned, that it has to be proportionate. So when we say proportionate in 2019, there was an internet ban for about 213 days in 2019 in the state of Jammu and Kashmir because there were some changes, delimitations were done in the state. So when this happened, the petitioners questioned the ban in the state before the Supreme Court. And in that case, the Supreme Court said that what are the reasons existing to suspend the internet? And they said because the ban has been there for more than half a year, there have been subsequent changes and subsequent reasons that have been for which the ban has been imposed. So the court said that in order to recognize the right, in order to recognize that whether a ban on the internet has been done in proportional to the fundamental right, there should be a right on the part of the people to know that there exists a law and there is an executive order because this will allow the people to know that why the ban has been imposed. And secondly, it will also allow the people to question it before the court of law because if you do not know that whether, like for example, like Apar mentioned that there have been instances in India where even for cheating, or prevention of cheating in examination, internet ban has been imposed. So to challenge that or to check on exercise of power being valid or not, the court in 2019 have said that every order the executive passes for blocking the internet should be available to the people to challenge. And similarly in 2021, because now this is the time where there has been a significant change because COVID took place and technology, digital democracy and everything was being done on the internet by the people and it became a very important part of our lives. So that time also there was a imposition of internet ban, total ban, because there are two types of ban that exist, total ban and partial ban. In partial ban, the speed of the internet is reduced or their mobile internet is not allowed but Wi-Fi can be used. So there the court said that if you have a problem that certain messages would be circulated on the internet, so so you can only block certain websites, but not complete internet because everybody uses internet for different purposes. Because during COVID in India, schools were shut and schools were only being run through internet. So supposedly in certain, like for example, Facebook, WhatsApp is not where the education takes place. So the court has said that you have to narrowly tailor the restriction on the freedom so that you allow people to access the internet, which is essential for the livelihood reasons. Then again in 2013 or 2022, another protest took place, and in that case, the court has asked the government that what are the reasons to impose the ban, and it was in the state of Guwahati where there was a ban on the internet because there was protests happening against the imposition of a particular act, which was a Citizenship Act. So in that case, the court asked that what are the reasons to block the internet? And the government had replied that they have got certain information that in the coming times there would be a protest or there would be violence. The court said fundamental right cannot be curbed on the ground, that there would be an incident which take place in the future. So you cannot curb the internet today to prevent a situation which is unforeseeable. Therefore, the court said that there are no reasons that exist currently to block the internet. So now to answer your question, Jeffrey, that because the internet problem was very new, the court has paid deference to the persons, but now finally I think the court have developed a standard to keep a check. If a dissent is being stifled, there the court can intervene and declare it to be unconstitutional.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sid, for that comprehensive presentation.